Hello friends, this is teacher JB. Today we are studying 10 words based on the theme The Police. The Police. The first word, to capture. To capture, it is apprehend. Apprehend. Apprehend is a verb. It has 3 syllables. A, P, P, R, E, H, E, N, D. Action on the third syllable, apprehend. Apprehend means to capture. The police apprehended the robbery suspect as he tried to get on a bus to Chicago. Apprehend. The next word, to make sure of. To make sure of is ascertain. Ascertain. Ascertain is a verb and it has 3 syllables. A, S, C, E, R, T, A, I, N. Actually, on the third syllable, tain. Ascertain, ascertain. Ascertain means to make sure of. The police failed to ascertain that the man they arrested was Gregory Brown they were really looking for. Ascertain. The next word is related to a large organization with a lot of complicated procedures. Related to a large organization with a lot of complicated procedures is bureaucratic. Bureaucratic. Bureaucratic is an adjective and it has 4 syllables. B-U-R-E-A-U-C-R-A-T-I-C. Accent on the third syllable and this T flex. Bureaucratic. Bureaucratic. Bureaucratic means related to a large organization with a lot of complicated procedures. Before I could speak with the chief, I had to go through a bureaucratic runaround of identity checks and written requests. Bureaucratic. The next one, to speak out against something in very strong terms. To speak out against something in very strong terms is condemn. Condemn. And condemn is a verb. It has 2 syllables. C-O-N-D-E-M-N. Action on the second syllable. Condemn. Condemn means to speak out against something in a very strong terms. Religious radicals condemn the government for allowing alcohol to be sold in restaurants. Condemn. Condemned. The next one, something that makes the truth of a statement seem more likely. Something that makes the truth of a statement seem more likely is evidence. Evidence. Evidence is a noun and it has 3 syllables. E-V-I-D-E-N-C-E. Accent on the first syllable. Evidence. Evidence. Evidence means something that makes the truth of a statement seem more likely. The most convincing evidence that Garner robbed the store was a videotape from surveillance cameras. Evidence. The next one, to suggest that someone was involved in a crime or other wrong behavior. To suggest that someone was involved in a crime or other wrong behavior is implicate. Implicate. Implicate is a verb and it has 3 syllables. I-M-P-L-I-C-A-T-E. Accent on the first syllable. Implicate. Implicate means to suggest that someone was involved in a crime or other wrong behavior. No group claimed responsibility for the bombing, but the type of explosive used implicates the Heartland Freedom Militia. No group claimed responsibility for the bombing, but the type of explosive used implicates the Heartland Freedom Militia. Implicate. The next one, an investigation. An investigation is inquiry. Inquiry. Inquiry is a noun and it has three syllables, I, N, Q, U, I, R, and then Y. Accent on the first syllable. Inquiry. Inquiry. Inquiry is an investigation. The FBI launched an inquiry into the relationship between organized crime and the trucking company. Inquiry. The next one, in a way that brings an unwanted person or thing into someone else's affairs. In a way that brings an unwanted person or thing into someone else's affairs is intrusively. Intrusively. Intrusively is an adverb and it has four syllables, I, N, T, R, U, S, I, V, E, L, Y, accent the third syllable, siv, sively, intrusively. Intrusively means in a way that brings an unwanted person or thing into someone else's affairs. The new consultant from company headquarters appeared intrusively at meetings, step parties, and other functions where he was not wanted, intrusively. The next one, to take something against its owner's will. To take something against its owner's will is seize. Seize. And seize is a verb, it has only one syllable, S-E-I-Z-E. Seize. Federal agents can seize private homes and other property possibly used in the production or sale of illegal drugs. Seize. The last one, a process of watching something or someone for a long time, usually because the person is suspected of something. A process of watching something or someone for a long time, usually because the person is suspected of something is surveillance. Surveillance. Surveillance is a noun and it has three syllables, S-U-R-V-E-I-L-L-A-N-C-E, accent on the second syllable, they. Surveillance. Surveillance means a process of watching something or someone for a long time, usually because the person is suspected of something. Police surveillance of one suspected car thief resulted in the arrest of a whole gang of carjackers. Surveillance. Now find the word or phrase that is closest in meaning to the opposite of each word in the left-hand column. Write the letter in the blank. Number one, ascertain. Ascertain is to be sure about something. So the answer is cause doubt about. So number one answer is D. Intrusively is in a way publicly or inviting people. And then this unnoticeably is the answer. So A. Seize is to take away. And then it give back. So never. So answer is going to be C. Condemn is to criticize. And the opposite is going to be praise. E. Bureaucratic is very complicated. And the answer is going to be simple and straightforward. B. Ascertain, cause doubt about, intrusively, unnoticeably, seize, give back, condemn, praise, bureaucratic, simple, and straightforward. Now complete each sentence by filling in the blank with the best word from the list. Change the form of the word if necessary, and use each word only once. Apprehend, evidence, implicate, inquiry, surveillance. Officials could not blank Basel because people in villages and towns throughout the country were willing to hide him. So they couldn't apprehend him. APPREHEND, arrest. So officials could not arrest or apprehend Basil because people in villages and towns throughout the country were willing to hide him. Number two, during their blank of O'Brien's house, detectives audio taped his phone conversation. So they were just like in a way watching carefully. So it's going to be surveillance. Okay, let's put surveillance here. Surveillance. During their surveillance of O'Brien's house, detectives audio taped his phone conversations. Number three, until we finish our blank into the disappearance of the cash, all employees are suspects. Okay, so until we finish our investigation or inquiry, INQUIRY, into the disappearance of the cash, all employees are suspects. Number four, even if there is blank, such as fingerprints that might blank someone in a crime, there might be other indications that the person is innocent. So he's talking about evidence, EVIDENCE, such as fingerprints that might implicate, PLICATE. Even if there is evidence, such as fingerprints that might implicate someone in a crime, there might be other indications that the person is innocent. So apprehend for the first one, surveillance, inquiry, evidence, implicate. Now read a passage to review the vocabulary you have learned. Answer the questions that follow. The Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects citizens from unreasonable search and seizure. Some civil libertarians have condemned the federal anti-drug bureaucracy for threatening this basic right. In a drug case, police need no evidence to intrude on private property, apprehend a suspected dealer, and seize all the person's property. Property taken under this law may be sold for a profit later by the law enforcement officers involved in the raid. The target of a raid might be implicated only by an unreliable report from an unfriendly neighbor. The police are not required to ascertain whether there's any physical evidence of drug activity at the site. In one case, surveillance of a large California property convinced the local authorities to seize it, not because they saw drug activity, but because the property was worth a lot of money. The property was taken, and its owner was shot trying to defend himself. A later inquiry determined that there were no illegal drugs on the property. According to this reading, which of these activities does the author oppose? A. Marijuana possession. B. Surveillance. C. Property seizures. D. Civil libertarians. The answer is going to be C. Property seizures. Number two, why does the author of this reading mention the Fourth Amendment? A. Because drug-related seizures seem to violate it. B. Because it allows the use of certain drugs. C. Because it has finally stopped the anti-drug forces from seizing property. D. Because he disagrees that Americans should be protected by it. Answer is going to be A, because drug-related seizures seem to violate it. Okay, friends, this is the conclusion of today's study. I will come back to you with another 10 words as soon as possible. Until then, keep studying English and have a great day. Bye.